got to find some tool there, because that's going to be, I mean, that's the crux of the thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've been looking a lot too. I've been trying to avoid having to make my own, but because there's just kind of the general ones.
So your process here is the number of families given the educational sheet. So given educational sheet is enough to make me crazy. That is not going to, and let's make this patient-centered. So let's just start this here. Patient and or family, because it could be either, right? If it's a 5-year-old, you're going to want to engage that 5-year-old. That's the tricky part. Patient and or family will utilize either the shared decision-making tool or engagement tool or whatever it is that you come up with.
Okay. I can't, I'm not seeing your screen anymore. I don't know if you're.
Sorry.
Right.
By 20% by, let's see, I think it's September 1st, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same. You're going to say it the same. You're going to measure it. How are you going to measure it? What's the operational definition?
Let's see. If we're going to, before I think I just said number of shared decision-making tools utilized over the amount of patients seen.
Yep. It'll be the total number of appropriate age, right?
Right. Yep.
So that's perfect. You just have to get the tool. And so this is going to be either shared decision-making tool. You can give them educational materials, but better yet, if you have something that, and this has got to be out there, this cannot be brand new. And then, so your process, if this is going to be the number of tools used, what is your outcome? So think about the same as your team. Your team, you wanted to increase their understanding, team building. What is your outcome going to be with your patients?
I mean, I want my patients to, I guess, understand and be engaged. So,
which word do you want?
What's that?
Which word do you want? Engagement, understanding, you know, what? What is it that you're hoping for these folks?
I mean, I hope that they like, I think engaged is probably the word, at least so that we're bringing them in and that they're part of the process and start of.
And you had 20% before, so I'm just going to go with that.
Okay.
September 1st. And how are you going to measure that?
Let's see. Well, I mean, I guess I probably don't want to do the number of, yeah, because I want not like the number of screenings, but the number of,
This is not about screening. This is about engagement.
Right. And so how do I? Because the first one we said we're going to use the number of shared decision making over the total number of people, total number of kids.
So use this tool. Say you have a tool that talks about development. It talks about vision screening. Is that the one? Vision?
Development in lead.
So it talks about, you know, maybe what the risks are, maybe what the signs and symptoms of lead development, risks and signs and symptoms of developmental delays. What do you want them to get from this? If they do this with you and they participate in this give and take and they think about what they want, what is the outcome for them?
I mean, ideally is that they would move forward with the screenings, but also more of that they have been they've been in part of the process of making the decision, so that they have been engaged, informed, and part of either way, if they participate or not, I guess is
right. So you're not going to say you want them to do it because that's a choice.
All right.
You'd like them to have the screening, but they're increasing their engagement. So the same kind of thing with this, you have to look up some tools that are going to measure engagement. It can be a survey. It can be, 1 to 5. It can be an intention. You could state an intention. I intend to have such and such screening. If they do it,
Okay.
they think about it, and they agree, then they're going to state an intention. Okay, which is simple. Then on the bottom of your engagement tool, you simply have one of those. You just either add it or give it on the back side of it another statement that says, I understood these. I understand the benefits and the risks, costs, whatever, and I intend to blank. And they fill it in. You rip that part off. They get to keep their educational piece. You get to keep this and count this.
Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense. Cool. And that's kind of easier than trying to throw in another sort of survey or something that they have to fill out. Okay.
So now we're down to, let's see, your decision making tool, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is talking about, okay, we're in C now. I just was getting lost here. Okay. So screening. So what screening, so we're going to get rid of some of these, right?
Right. We're going to take out vision and eye exam and then the MChat.
And we're just going to do ages and stages, questionnaire, and the lead testing. Okay, so we're going to screen people. I'm going to move this down here because it makes me a little crazy not to have everything on the same page. I don't know why that says, that shouldn't say. Okay, so screening, implement the screening tools. Perfect, that's what you're doing. Patient engagement materials, shared decision-making tools, or whatever, your teamwork. These are what your tests have changed. So you're going to have an educational something every other week, huddle, in-service, whatever, team building activity. So this is the general category of what you're doing. You're going to have this shared decision making. You may cut out a question, add a question, change the form, not change the form. Here's your screening tools that you're going to use to start with and see how they go. Increase utilization of age-appropriate screening. So this we just want to put, this is actually going to not, we just want to increase screening.
Okay.
Screenings by 20% of appropriate, so the number of screenings utilized over their appropriate age children. Plain and simple. We're just going to screen them, okay?
Okay. Yep.
Get rid of all that. And then C, increase the number of children who are identified with positive. We're going to get rid of these two. You're looking to identify the abnormals. That's your outcome. You screen them. You want to know who's abnormal. 20% number of screenings performed over number of, so if you did 10 screenings and you had 15 kids, is that going to tell you how many were abnormal?
Nope. So, I mean, just the number of abnormals over the number that we screened.
Okay. So the number of, it's also called positive screenings.
Positives, yes.
Positive screenings, not performed, but that you get over, again, the total number of children seen of the appropriate age. So if you had 10 kids come in and 2 of them screened positive, what would your number be?
20%.
Right. And then if you have, and then, yeah, so that's good. So we've identified some. Let's look again. We're motivating our team. We're firing them up. We're going to share and get our patients engaged by this, whatever tool it is you use. We're going to state their intention. Yes, no, I understand that this is normal and healthy for me to screen my child, and I choose yes or no. And then you got to screen everybody, right? So you're going to screen everybody saying, So you see where our snafu is? Do you see how talking this through helps?
Yeah, definitely.
So I just said you're going to talk to your patients. You're going to understand the screening. But intention, what if they say no? You're saying you're going to screen everybody.
Right.
But you have to ask them, right?
Right.
So we're going to increase your screenings by 20%, the number of screenings utilized over the appropriate number of children seen. And if you screen them, you're going to identify some who are abnormal. Now, you're going to have to do what? If you find out they have poor vision or they're developmentally delayed, what do you need to do?
Make a referral. Right. Document it.
So this is how we measure it. So you're just going to increase referrals of positive screens, period, by 20%. Now, how you do that with your case management log is different. So, so if we refer 5 people and you had 5 positive screens, what's our rate?
100%.
Right. If you had 2 positives and you only referred 1 of them,
50.
right. So is this so does this go, do you refer them in the chart? Is it a
Yeah. It's a electronic referral.
Okay. So the other thing that we're going to do here, number of screens, and this is documented in the chart. So it's easy. You know where to go look for that, right? That's an order.
Right.
Okay. Increase the number of children with positive screenings who receive the referral. Now, are you able to follow up on them? Is it referring to somebody in your clinic or in your group, or can they
go? They go outside.
So maybe what you want to do is you want to just look at, are we scheduled? Did we get this? Did we close it that way?
Okay. All right.
If you can't follow up on them. Now, the best thing is if you can schedule them and follow up on them.
Right.
But if you don't have that ability, they could go to 20 different people. Then you just want to get them scheduled with somebody.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I think a lot of times they'll send us like the note from wherever we referred them to, but that can take a while.
Right. And so what I'm going to say to you is let's put let's go with scheduling them.
Okay.
And on the side, because you're having this marriage of real life in your project, they should send you the referral note.
Right.
And then you can keep a separate column in your spreadsheet. Did they actually get to the referral? And you can try and follow up on those, and you can see if you schedule the appointment, what percent of them actually get there.
Okay.
But for your project here in school, since you don't have a lot of control of that, of where they can go, and they can go so many places that it would be very difficult for you to follow that, you're just going to measure the appointments were made.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
With positive screenings who receive scheduled referral. Referral appointments scheduled over the total number of referrals made. Okay? So you're closing that loop.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk this through again. We're going to motivate our team every other week at least. You'll probably be doing lots of little motivational things in between, but a formal, whatever you're going to do every other week. And talk to me about your team. Is it 1 office, 2 offices, 5 offices?
It's just 1, right? And so that process outcome is fairly poor for this situation. I'm just so struggling with the teamwork that
at this point, it is not a wonderful and exciting process, but
no.
I'm going to go with it because you don't have enough time to be really creative. Yeah. However, once you get going with this, if you say, hey, you know what, I really would like this to be the process, then we can add that.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to get them to come. If they come, they're going to be they're going to increase their teamwork. You got to do that today.
Right. Okay. I will.
What you're going to do today is we're going to give them you can give them education, but better some kind of shared decision making or engagement tool or something.
Right.
And then you're going to measure how many of those tools were used. You have to think about, how am I actually going to measure that?
I was just thinking that.
And so one of the things what do you think you could do?
Well, the first thing that came to mind is I could just keep track of how many shared tools there are at the beginning of the day, and then how many there are utilized after.
Right.
I could also, just do a chart audit to see of the patients of the appropriate age that we saw that day, how many had the shared decision-making tool documented.
So do you guys have smart phrases?
No. I don't know what that is.
Problem list?
Say it again.
You have a problem list.
We do.
So somewhere, if you're going to use documentation, which is a great thing to use, right? Then you have to, I would encourage you to think of one place where everybody's going to document it. And who's going to document it. So when you go to look for this, you're not hunting through everybody's notes.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful way to do it. but make sure you think very specifically, where am I going to have them document this so I know where to look?
Okay.
The easier you make it for your team, the easier, the better success you're going to have. So if they have to figure this out and like hunt and paste, that's not going to happen, which is why I asked you about smart phrases.
Well, we have like templates. I don't know if it's the same
Uh-huh.
thing, but I was thinking about giving to everybody so they could just click and have the same.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it was used. No, it was not used. And then
Right.
it was in the same place in the soap note.
Okay. So that's up to you how you think you're going to work that. Do you have IT that you could work with?
No.
I mean, there must be, if you have an EHR, there's got to be somebody who owns this.
Right. Well, I guess I could call the EMR place, but nobody on site or anything.
Depending on somebody else is always a bad idea, but you can certainly set that in process.
Okay.
The other thing that you can do, and that's learning all of your systems and everything that's part of the process of, yeah, I could do that in EMR, and that makes a whole lot more sense instead of scanning something in and doing this. So if you can work with those people, set that as your goal.
Okay.
The other thing that you could do is you could have the bottom half of this or the other side of it be a page that rips off. They do their tool with you, some sort of engagement, shared decision-making tool. And on the other side, maybe they answer their questions or state their intention or whatever it is you're going to do. And then you rip that off. They get to keep the educational piece of it. And you get to keep the other half that shows you now you're counting those.
Okay.
I like the documentation much better because it's building it into the system.
Yeah.
But you can think about it.
Okay. Okay.
Quickly. All right. C is screen everybody. And then you're going to see, you're identifying your people who are abnormal. D is all those abnormals get a referral. And you follow up and make sure they're scheduled.
Yep.
Now, if you do this, everybody's on board, everybody's screening everybody is, looking for these delays, development of delays and vision issues. What is a bad thing that could happen?
There's a lot of bad things. Things get lost in translation, or motivation gets decreased after a while and people stop doing it. Or
you get a negative side effect. If you're working really hard on this, what could get missed, or what could get not done as well, or what is a fallout?
Let's see. Oh, probably something else. We're not really doing any other screenings. Time spent.
Time is always one that you can always do.
I do wonder about the nurses and how they're gonna, because this will add a little bit more work for them.
So either of these, you can do time spent on the project. Do you document, like, do the front desk check when somebody checks in and check when they check out?
They do, but there's no way. I called the EMR, and there's no way to track how long. Like, they don't keep those numbers. Apparently, it's Practice Fusion doesn't keep track of how long those patients were in the room, even though we click when they're in and we click when they're out.
Oh, funny.
I know. I was hoping to use that one, but they don't do that.
But does the front desk, when they sign in, do they write what time it is?
I think that the patient, there's a clipboard for the patient to actually write in what time they were there.
And what about when they leave?
The front desk, usually does something like, changes them from in room to discharged, but not a physical note or anything.
And then just do, again, we're at the 12th hour, so let's just do the time you spend or patients, your team satisfaction.
Yeah.
But again, you don't want to measure this at the very end, because what if you find out at the very end that they've hated it the entire time?
Okay, right. That makes sense.
You miss your opportunity to change things. So that needs to be done at least every cycle.
Okay.
Not every day, or they really will kill you.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm going to save this, and we'll send it back to you. And I do want to go over this right care with you so that you understand this.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Let's put a table in here. And I'm just going to, I think you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to see a bunch of patients today. All right, so here you're going to do patients. Here you're going to do screening. And I'm just going to put shared decision making, whatever you're going to do.
Okay.
Here you're going to put positives. And here you're going to put
referrals. Okay.
Referral, and then you're going to need one more. Let's go over here and do one more. You're going to need 2 more, actually. You're going to read referrals. Actually, you just need your referral date, right? And this is going to be right. Oh my gosh, right here. So patients. So say today you see 3 patients. 1, patient 2, and patient 3. And what I would also do is I would put the date here. So, you know, this section is this group here is date such and such. You know,
okay.
You want 2 days, whatever you want. Everything else needs to be screened at least twice a week, so you get 2 data points a week.
Okay.
But your team, I didn't put them on here. Your team can be every other week.
Okay.
And then we're going to want 1 here. We're going to see only 2 patients. And this is going to be the subtotals. So these people came in and you screened this one and you screened this one. You gave a shared decision making to this one, but oops, forgot that one. You got a positive here. This one is, she's normal. He or she, I hate that word. This person did do a referral. This person didn't need a referral. So if we go across, patient 1, she got 1 point. 1 point for this. And 1 point, you can see, I'm not going to go all the way across, etc. Positives, you probably don't really care to include them in your right care. Because, I mean, that's not right care. That has nothing. You're just doing that for yourself.
Right. That depends on the screening.
So it's out of 3. See, there's 3 pieces here. Now, you can have as many pieces of this as you want, but I just put 3. I think screening has to be there using the whatever tool you're using, and if they got referred, it has to be there. If you want other things in there, you can put them in. So this person got, we're going to say this is a yes because it's different than these other ones. She got 1, 2, 3 out of 3. So she got 3 out of 3, which is 100%. This person got 1. She didn't get the shared decision-making tool. She wasn't positive, so we don't need to do that. This is a no, she wasn't positive. So she did not need a referral. So she got 1 out of 2, really, because she doesn't need that one.
Right, okay.
Okay, so this got 1 out of 2, which is 50%. So your subtotal here is 150 divided by 2 is what?
75.
75%. That is your data point for that day.
Okay.
Now, if you go here, you can say I had 2 patients, they both got screened. 100%.
Okay.
This person didn't, we have 50% here.
Okay.
This is just you're just keeping track. You might want to have an idea when you get done to say, hey, do you know how many positives we got? That's going to help you. The data that you're going to look at. And your referrals, you got 1 out of 1, so that's 100%. So you've now done some screening. There's a data point. There's a data point. Referrals, there's a data point. Plus you have your right care.
Okay.
Now the other thing that you're going to need is just another chart for every single measure you have. So if I go over to the charts, sorry, tables, always do that. I don't know how many. You have 8 of them. Some of them are already used here. So you've got screenings done, shared decision making. So you might want to keep everything that you need to look on your chart. So you don't really need to keep your team, although you might keep your team outcome, you know, if you have a data point for your team.
Okay, right.
Oh, sorry, I'm going to put this here. Team outcome, because that was a number, I think, an average score or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's the.
Yep. And your share, that's team. Then it was shared decision making and engagement. and then it was screening and identification, et cetera, referral and dates. So some of those you have up here. So yours might be simple enough that you don't, and you might want to separate this into vision and lead. Vision, not, it's not vision, right? You're doing
it's development.
Yeah, development. So you already have this one. You don't need to do that twice. Don't make it worse twice. Engagement, you don't have those. Screening, you already have. ID, you already have. Referral, you need to look and see if the referral was actually done, right? The referral order.
Yeah.
And then, and you've got your right care. So that's it. So this is, you're going to just put, you know, the date so that you know what period this is. Whatever.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
And that way you have one, you'll have two spreadsheets. And actually, if I was you, I might just put a few spaces here and have it all in one. But whatever works for you.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Twice a week, you're going to go and you're going to pull 10 charts and you're going to say, okay, of these 10, how do we do? Of these 10, how do we do?
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
I'll save this for you and I'm going to send it to you.
Great.
Sorry, no pun intended. All right. Okay?
Okay. All right. That makes, yep, that makes a lot of sense. I think I was just kind of overcomplicating it all.
Well, you know, until you really just kind of get it, it's going to, and I will tell you, I do want to say, it is going to take you, now I'm not going to make that mistake again. Stop sharing. Okay. It takes a little while to do this once through, collect everything, and then you're going to be like, oh, and what you do is you look at your data and you say, okay, my data is telling me, guess what? We're not screening everybody. What do I need to do? Does we need to have somebody else do it? Does somebody need to double check that, make sure they got it done before they walk out the door, whatever?
Right.
Look at your data, and your data now is going to lead you where you need to go.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so that makes sense.
It looked pretty good. You had some fine-tuning little things that you need to work on. You need to get these measures and your tools like yesterday.
Okay. Right.
And then what I'd like you to do is send it to me. I work tomorrow. I'm on call. Wednesday I'm in the clinic, so I'm not going to look at these till Thursday.
Okay.
Please get them to me by Wednesday night. So Thursday morning when I wake up bright and early, I can look at them and say, yep, this is good. Send it off to IHI. We're ready to go.
Okay. Perfect. I can do that. Yep. I'm going to spend today doing it.
Also, Dr. Jefferson and I are working together with you. If you could CC both of us.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. I can do that. Yep.
Okay.
I don't think so. No, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I think, I feel like I had the concepts. I just couldn't figure out how to put the pieces in. And that just helped. I was just being too detailed and over.
Well, and I think you just have to think almost in a broader sense where your team and your patient engagement, understanding, and remember understanding, think of the Bloom's taxonomy. You know, the lowest level of learning is spitting it back out or saying, you know, a quiz.
Yeah.
If they had to use it, if they had to demonstrate it, if they had to do a teach back, any of those things increase the ramp up of what their actual learning was.
Right.
Okay. Same thing, teamwork, engagement, patient engagement, all of those pieces. And how, like, take a patient, have them walk in your mind. Patient walks in, and I would do this with your team. Okay, MA number 1 and front desk number 1. Patient walks in. Now the front desk, I see you maybe being able to give them this or not, or they come back, the MA is going to look, what about, how are you going to know if this has been done? Or you have nobody's been doing this?
Yeah, nobody's been doing it.
Because at some point you're going to want to have a chart audit to see, has this been done? And you got to look at how often this needs to be done. So if it's done once a year for your project, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But at some point, you know, you need to look and see where that's going to be. So we're all going to document these screenings in the same place.
Right. Right. Okay.
And have it, work it through with your team. The patient walks in, who's going to do this? Who's going to do this? What's the provider going to do? Who's going to document this piece? And where are we going to find it? So that all of your team is working together.
Okay. You know, luckily my team's pretty gung-ho right now, and everybody's kind of already pushing. They want to already have done it yesterday, and I've had to be like, hold on, you know.
Yeah,
So
but get your champions, whoever's fired up about it. Do not keep firing them up, because I'm telling you, the hardest part.
Right. I've more have had to be like, we're not starting, like, we can't do it yet. Wait, hold on. We have to like put the steps into place before we can actually do it, you know?
All right.
Yeah,
Well, so do that by Thursday morning. I'll look it over, and either myself or Dr. Jefferson will look it over and get you on your way.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was really helpful.
Yeah, I'm going to send you the measures worksheet. I'm going to send you the right care, and I'm going to send you, there's 2 halves, unfortunately, for our video, but I'll send them both to you.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too. Bye.